San Antonio woke up to an ordinary morning, but by mid-morning it had turned into a scene few could have imagined. Federal SUVs and unmarked vans rolled into the parking lot of one of the city's busiest grocery stores, H-E-B Fresh Foods in Stone Oak. Within minutes, agents poured into the aisles, moving with purpose and precision. Customers watched in shock as IOACE launched a high-profile raid targeting undocumented workers hidden in plain sight. How did a routine workday transform into one of San Antonio's largest enforcement actions? Hi, before we continue, one click on the subscribe button fuels all the effort behind this and every future video. Let's break it down: the operation, what ICE found, and why it matters. The morning at the H-E-B Fresh Food store began like countless others, with employees stocking shelves, preparing produce, and customers filling carts. But by 10 a.m., the quiet routine shifted dramatically. Federal agents, backed by local police support, arrived in black SUVs and unmarked vans, their mission clear. This was not a random sweep. It was a carefully planned immigration and customs enforcement operation, targeting employees without proper legal authorization to work in the United States. Agents moved quickly and efficiently. Their approach was organized, designed to minimize disruption while ensuring accuracy. They walked through aisles, reviewed documentation, and cross-checked employee records on the spot. Customers were stunned to see uniformed officers escorting individuals into custody. Among them was a food delivery driver who was placed in handcuffs. After verification revealed he lacked proper work status. To many bystanders, it was a shocking sight, but to IOCE, it was a lawful step in protecting the workforce and enforcing federal immigration law. One bystander criticized the event as racial profiling, suggesting immigrant communities were being unfairly targeted. Jose Guman, a local resident, spoke emotionally about his belief that the government was not protecting immigrant families when they needed help the most. Yet ICE officials emphasized that their operations are not about targeting races or communities. They are about enforcing the law. They reminded the public that the focus was on verifying employment eligibility, not punishing individuals based on appearance or background. The raid revealed 9 individuals working without authorization, 4 Mexican nationals and 5 from other ethnic backgrounds. Each was found employed illegally, without the documentation required under federal law. H-E-B, one of Texas's most recognizable supermarket chains, had previously placed hiring advertisements primarily in English, attracting many applicants, including those without proper work permits. While the store is respected as a major employer, this investigation showed gaps in verifying legal employment status. ICE's operation directly exposed those weaknesses. Not everyone reacted the same way. Some locals supported the enforcement action. One man commented that while he fully supports arresting criminals and violent offenders, he felt sympathy for some co-workers who were caught up in the operation. Many of these individuals had lived in the community for years, raised children born in the United States, and built lives. He acknowledged their hard work and family values, but the reality remained: they did not have legal authorization to work. The ICE raid underscored the difficult line between personal sympathy and national law. Inside the store, the operation unfolded with discipline. ICE agents reviewed employment records thoroughly and ensured that only individuals without proper documentation were detained. This balance, firm enforcement with respect for due process, highlighted ICE's ongoing effort to protect the workforce without unfairly punishing those following the rules. For families watching, the raid stirred fears. Some children held up signs declaring themselves proud sons and daughters of undocumented parents. Others asked whether their loved ones would come home. These emotional scenes revealed the personal weight behind such enforcement actions, but they also emphasized why ICE stresses careful planning and legal precision. Operations are not carried out impulsively. They are the result of thorough investigations, employment audits, tips from the public, and evidence gathered over time. The H-E-B raid was not an isolated event. It was part of a broader enforcement pattern across San Antonio, as ICE increased its presence in industries where undocumented labor is most common. Grocery stores, construction sites, warehouses, restaurants, and logistics centers have all come under scrutiny. Earlier this year, a warehouse near Loop 410 was raided, leading to a dozen unauthorized workers being detained. Each of these actions was backed by evidence, audits, and verification before enforcement teams moved in. Construction has been a major area of focus. At a downtown high-rise project, ICE detained 17 unauthorized workers, many of whom had been hired through subcontractors. This highlighted a common challenge: complex hiring networks that allow individuals without documentation to be employed indirectly, often slipping through the cracks of employer responsibility. By targeting these networks, ICE reinforced that even subcontracted employees must meet federal work standards. The hospitality industry has also faced enforcement. At a downtown hotel, 6 employees in housekeeping and kitchen roles were detained for working without authorization. At a Northside fast food restaurant, 3 workers were taken into custody after ICE confirmed their employment status was unlawful. At a logistics facility near San Antonio International Airport, 12 employees were detained for the same reason. These actions underscored ICE's wide-ranging focus, not limited to one sector, but covering industries where unauthorized labor could undermine wages and opportunities for lawful workers. Throughout San Antonio, these operations have been conducted with multi-agency coordination. ICE regularly works alongside the Department of Labor, the FBI, and local police departments. This cooperation ensures that every operation is legally sound, carefully documented, and backed by proper evidence. Nothing is left to chance. From reviewing employment records to verifying documents, every step is measured. Employers are also reminded of their responsibility. Under federal law, they must verify that every employee has legal authorization to work. Failure to do so carries serious consequences. That accountability may soon extend to HEB's management. Following the raid, federal authorities confirmed that the store's hiring practices are under review. Investigators are examining whether the employer knowingly or negligently hired undocumented workers. If evidence shows intentional hiring, the store could face heavy fines, penalties, or even criminal charges. Federal law makes it clear: unauthorized employment harms competition, suppresses wages, and disadvantages businesses that follow the rules. Holding employers accountable is just as important as detaining unauthorized workers, and ICE has emphasized this in multiple public statements. Legal experts have explained the possible outcomes. If the store's hiring violations are determined to be intentional, prosecution is possible. If negligence is proven, monetary fines could still be significant. Either way, the case sends a message across the business community in San Antonio and beyond. Immigration laws will be enforced, and compliance is non-negotiable. These enforcement actions are not only about removing individuals without proper authorization, but also about protecting American jobs, wages, and fair business practices. By ensuring that companies cannot undercut competitors with unauthorized labor, ICE supports lawful businesses and workers who follow the rules. This commitment safeguards economic fairness and strengthens community trust in the workforce system. For San Antonio, the HEB operation is one chapter in a larger story. ICE continues to investigate industries with high numbers of unauthorized employees, often through multi-month investigations that include interviewing workers, reviewing records, and gathering tips. Each operation reflects a broader effort to uphold the integrity of immigration law and ensure equal opportunity for lawful employees. As the investigation continues, the spotlight remains on HEB's hiring practices. For now, the store and others across the city are being reminded to strengthen verification procedures, comply with regulations, and avoid practices that could invite enforcement. ICE's actions make one point clear: unauthorized employment will not be tolerated, and enforcement will continue wherever violations are found. The San Antonio HEB raid shows us just how seriously ICE takes its mission. These operations are not random. They are planned, lawful, and focused on protecting American jobs, supporting fair wages, and holding employers accountable. Every raid is a reminder that compliance with federal law is critical, and that ICE, along with agencies like the FBI and Department of Labor, works tirelessly to safeguard the integrity of our workforce.